Hi guys, what's up? MobileExperience with you once again, Lorenzo and Alberto, and this time we're here with you to do the final comparison between the S5 Neo and the S6. So the Samsung Galaxy S5 Neo, the new version of the S5, against maybe one of the best phone of the year, maybe one of the best phone ever created, the Samsung Galaxy S6, which has been described by a lot of experts as a fantastic phone that has brought a lot of revolution in a lot of aspects, the design, the power, the screen, the fantastic phone in a lot of aspects. So the S5 Neo it's a very good phone in our opinion. If you've seen our comparison with the S5 Neo against the S5, you've noticed that it has a very beautiful design and a very beautiful front camera. It's a very solid phone in a lot of aspects. So this comparison, in our opinion, is useful because you're able to understand which level the S5 Neo has arrived and if it's able to compete with a fantastic top phone as the S6. So we begin this comparison talking about the specs, a very similar dimension. The S6 is a little bit smaller, with the height is 6.8 millimeters, again 8.1 millimeters in the S5 Neo, and the weight is 138 grams against 142 grams. But as Lorenzo is showing you, the dimensions are similar apart from weight, so the S6 is a little bit smaller. Apart from that, the dimensions are very similar. And in the S6, as you're noticing right now, the camera comes a little bit more out, and maybe this is the only design problem of this phone. The design of the S6 is awesome, fantastic, but the camera comes a little bit more out. Maybe the only problem in this aspect by the S6. The specifications, so both have 5.1 inches screen, but the S5 Neo has Full HD 432 ppi Super AMOLED, this S6 Quad HD 577 ppi, so surely more definition for the S6. The CPU, the octa-core 1.6 GHz for the S5 Neo, and the octa-core 2.1 GHz plus 1.5 and 64-bit for the S6. The RAM is 2 GB for the S5 Neo, 3 GB for the S6. Memory, 16 MB of RAM expandable for the S5 Neo, 32, 64 or 128 not expandable for the S6. The memory of the S6 is much faster. We can anticipate you that it's a new generation memory, which is very, very fast in reading and processing. So a new generation memory for the S6, which is awesome. Talking about the camera right now, 16 megapixels back camera for both phones. But in the S5 Neo you don't have the image stabilizer. In the S6 you have the image stabilizer. The front camera are 5 megapixels for both phones, and the battery 2800 removable battery for the S5 Neo, 2550 not removable battery for the S6. So this is the very big advantage of the S5 Neo. And we can talk about the design. In our opinion, the S6 is better. The S6, Samsung brought with the S6 brand new materials, so aluminum on the edge, cutting, and very, very nice material. You feel it when you hold it in your hand, and glass, Gorilla Glass on the back and on the front. So in our opinion, the design of the S6 is simply perfect, apart from the camera that comes a little bit out. And the S5 Neo has a very good design. It's better than the S5, as we said in the comparison between the S5 Neo and the S5. And as Lorenzo is showing you right now, is fully water resistant, EP67 certified, also without the slot that you had in the S5. So a very, very good design also for the S5 Neo. And it also has the removable battery, a very good fact in this part, and the expandable memory. So a good design for the S5 Neo, a good plus against also the S6, the removable battery and the memory, which is expandable. But in the design part, the S6, in our opinion, still wins. It's too beautiful, it's too fantastic. The quality of materials is awesome. It's fantastic to hold it in your hand. In our opinion, the S6 wins this design battle. But the X5 Neo is very good in this part. It's very beautiful, similar maybe to the Note 3 Neo with his cutting edge and as we said, the removable battery, the expandable memory, fully water resistant without a slot. So it has some advantages against the S6. It depends on how you are interested in those facts. But it's very solid in this aspect. The S6 is the leader of the design, talking about materials, and it's simply a fantastic and an awesome phone. The user interface, the touch width in both phones, so rapid toggles, round toggles, and everything is very similar. In the S6, we can anticipate that you're going to find the fingerprint sensor. In the S5 Neo, you don't have the fingerprint sensor, but apart from that, those two phones are very similar. Of course, the notification LED, of course, the backlighting in the front bottom, and they are very, very similar actually in the user interface. We're going to take a look at which version of Android is installed on it. Is the same one, the 5.1.1 on both phones. The user interface is very similar, is not going to be a factor in your choice. Now we're going to take a look at the home part, so the fluidity while surfing from one page to the other in the menus and in the home part. And we can anticipate you that the S6 is definitely more fluid. The S5, in the S5, as Lorenzo is showing you right now, while scrolling from one page to the other, yeah, you're seeing it right now. Few lags, these moments in which the phone is not fully reactive, 100% reactive, so few lags. For many of you, this could be a little bit annoying, and the S6 is definitely more fluid, more powerful, so you're not going to have this kind of problem in the S6. You're going to have it sometimes in the S5 Neo, so it could be pretty annoying for many of you. As we said in the review of the S5 Neo, you can actually download a new launcher, Nova Launcher, and using Nova Launcher, the phone actually runs a little bit better. So using Nova Launcher, the difference is more slight, but still, of course, the S6 is better in this part. Talking about the camera, in this comparison, we're not going to show you photos, but we can say that there are more modes in the S6. The definition of the photos is actually similar, but the S6 wins, talking about the back camera, because the camera of the S6 is more fast focusing, and of course it has the image stabilizer. So when, for example, you hold the phone with the one hand, you're taking photos not in the perfect conditions, we can show you that the image stabilizer helps you to create stable and nice photos. So the megapixels are the same, 16 megapixel. The definition is very good in both back cameras in both phones. But the image stabilizer helps you to create nice and stable photos, and the fact that it's more fast focusing is very cool, and this helps you too to create good photos. In the front camera, the difference is very similar. Maybe it's even better in the S5 Neo because the colors are awesome, and so maybe in the S5 Neo the camera is the front camera is slightly better than the S6. In the back camera, the S6 wins, and overall in the camera, the S6 wins, considering both the back and the front camera. But not a big deal. The S5 Neo is very competitive also in this aspect. Now we're going to analyze the audio part, and the S6 wins because the volume is higher in the S6, and overall the position of the speakers is smarter because it's placed in the lower part of the phone. So in our opinion, now we're going to analyze it, because the position is placed on the back, and in the S6 the position is placed in the lower part, as Lorenzo is showing you right now. So also if the phone is placed, for example, on a bed, on a table, you're not going to have any kind of problem. The sound is going to be reproduced in a fantastic way. So the position of the speaker, in our opinion, is very, very important, and the S6 wins because you're able to place it on the phone, on a table, on a bed, and the sound is going to be reproduced in a fantastic way. the position of the speakers of the S5 Neo is not good because it's playing on the back of the phone, so the sound is going to be difficultly reproduced while the phone is placed on a table on your bed and stuff like that. Also, the volume, as we said before, is a little bit higher, so in the audio part, the S6 wins, definitely. What remains left, the browser part, so we're going to analyze it. We can go actually on the same site that we usually do in our reviews, so Corriere della Sera. It's one of the most Italian testing websites with a lot of links, photos, videos. We usually run it in a desktop mode for both phones, and we can anticipate you that there are no big difference, because also in the Neo the pinch is very reactive, and the pan follows your finger actually very good, and maybe the S6 is slightly even more reactive, especially in the scrolling. Yeah, now Lorenzo is analyzing it. Yeah, so the pan follows your finger in an instant. Is very, very reactive. Maybe in the scrolling, the S6 very, very few white zones, so fantastic performance by the S6. Also in the pinch in the pan is very, very reactive. The browser experience is very comparable in our opinion, because like we said before, also the Neo, the pinch and the pan is very, very reactive. The S6 may be even more reactive, especially in the scrolling. You find less white zones, but slightly different, because both these two phones have a very good browsing experience, so you're not going to have any kind of problem. Now we're going to talk about the big advantage of the S5 Neo against the S6 is the battery. The S5 Neo actually lasts longer. It's true that the S6 has the turbocharger, so you're going to be able to charge the phone in an instant, half an hour, stuff like that. Very impressive. But if you use it in an intensive way with the S6, you can arrive just till 5 p.m. So the battery could be the main problem of the S6, and the S5 Neo has a better battery. It lasts longer. Talking about the price right now, the S5 Neo actually is 300, and the online price, the S5 Neo is 350 euros, and the S6 is 480 euros. So we've got this 130 euro difference, and now we can conclude our comparison, talking about, of course, summing up our impression, and trying to give you this piece of advice in order to understand which of these two phones can be good for you. In our opinion, if you don't have a budget problem, the difference is definitely present between these two phones. So in our opinion, it's worth to buy the S6. The S5 Neo still remains, still could be a good choice for these reasons. The battery lasts long, it's removable and lasts longer. So this is a very, very big advantage of the S5 Neo against the S6. If you want to save money, of course, you're going to save 130 euros, as we said before. If you want a water-resistant phone with a removable battery and an expandable memory, so good stuff brought by the S5 Neo against the S6. And if you're not interested in pure performance, maybe you've seen that the browser experience is very good, so maybe you're not interested in playing games, testing games like Real Racing 3 and heavy application that stress your phone. Maybe you're not interested in pure performance, in pure power. Then if you consider these aspects, so the battery is going to run longer, you're going to save some money. You've got the water resistant phone, so if it falls in the water, no problem. Removable battery, expandable memory. You're not used to play games, so you're not going to be a lot interested in the pure power, the pure performance of the phone. Then the S5 Neo can be a good choice for you, actually. But overall, apart from this case, in our opinion, the S6 is better, and we can give this piece of advice. if we were new, we would choose the S6 without a kind of a budget problem. We would choose the S6. So guys, that was all for today. If you like our video, please put a like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our brand new channel in order to see a lot of new videos coming out. Thank you very much guys for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye by Lorenzo and Alberto of MobileExperience. See you guys.